Hi, I'm Captain Cam Taylor, and I'm at Cruising Yachts in San Diego. And I'm excited to introduce my good friend and Cruising Yachts consultant, Bill Semanek. Bill?
Good morning, Captain.
How are you today?
I am great.
Great.
You're looking good, too.
Thank you. Hey, what are we going to look at today, Bill?
We have a yacht from the land down under.
Nice.
It's called the Sydney 41, designed and built down in that wonderful Aussie land.
Nice.
Would you like to see her?
I'd love to. Let's take a look.
Okay.
Wow, Bill, this is a beautiful racer cruiser. I've never seen rigging like this before. Tell me about it.
This is rod rigging, stainless steel rod, so you have no stretch factor and it's much stronger than regular cable.
Okay.
The other thing I'd like to point out while we're talking about this is the carbon fiber mast. This boat came either with aluminum standard or the carbon fiber. Believe it or not, this mast weighs 300 pounds less than a standard aluminum mast.
Wow.
So that means it's stiffer,
Yeah.
and you can get more performance.
Well, this is a unique looking bow, Bill. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yes, Captain. This bow was designed to go upwind in a heavy chop. So as you're going into the wind, or against the wind, beating as we would call it, it glides up over the waves, and so you can point higher and foot faster than a standard bow.
Bill, it looks like you've got two sets of cars here with friction rings. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, you know, this boat was set up by a professional racer, and he went over everything to make sure that the boat would be rigged perfectly for performance racing or cruising.
Great. And where's the controls on these?
All of these controls lead back to the cockpit, Captain. And you'll notice the German main sheet system, so that the sheathing to the main comes all the way back on either side, so you can release or tighten up from either side in the cockpit.
Excellent.
Everything leads back to the cockpit.
And what kind of sail configuration does he have?
The sail configuration right now is we have a stack back with lazy jacks. Now, this can be taken off if a person wants to really go race. This way it allows the main to drop and be encapsulated right on the boom.
Nice.
So it makes it easy to put the sail away.
Excellent. Bill, is it okay if we hop aboard and take a look?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Come aboard.
This is an aluminum wheel?
That's correct. And you'll notice how big this wheel is. The idea is that you can be able to sit far out so that you can see the telltales on the jib, so you know exactly what you're sailing to. And then you'll see this metal little object, so I can brace my foot up against this object, and I can keep myself stabilized.
Nice. Now, Bill, I'm not a racer, I'm a cruiser. Tell me about this rigging here.
Yeah, this rigging, this is what we call running backs. The idea here is to stabilize the mast. We do have a masthead rig, so these don't need to be on in very, very light winds. But as we're going upwind and we get into seas where we could have some pumping of the mast, this will stabilize the mast, number one. And number two, we can take power out of the sail. We can flatten the sail. So it's a very important thing for racer folks.
Nice. And then it looks like you have a pretty big adjustable backstay here.
Yes, sir. That's hydraulic backstay, and this, of course, we're going to use if we're going upwind. We want to tighten the head stay and keep good control of the mast.
Excellent. Great foot brace here, and I really like this cockpit. You want to tell me a little bit about it?
Yes, the idea here is that you have a support. So let me sit for a second. Now, as we're on going to weather, there's of course going to be some heeling. Now I can brace my feet here, so I'm not going to be sliding around in the cockpit. You'll notice how nice and wide it is. It permits us to be able to move around in the cockpit to get from sheet to winch. As you notice here, we have this sheet and that sheet. They're both controlling the main. Okay, and so now from either side we can control.
Nice.
We can let it in or take it out, and the traveler is positioned just forward of the wheel.
So you've got your main sheet controls, your traveler controls, your Genoa controls, plenty of room for the crew to move around. I mean, when you're sitting down there, I can move around freely.
Exactly.
And you can operate things right from where you're sitting. This is a great layout.
And one person can run the entire boat. We have an autopilot right here. You can set the autopilot, and the driver can come up here, and everything is within easy reach. The halyards are right up forward on the coach roof, and the sheets are all back here.
So you can single hand the boat, but there's plenty of room if you want to take all your friends out, or if you've got a big crew on a longer race.
It's a true dual purpose boat.
Nice. So Bill, it looks like there's a really spacious V berth up here, and that's a big head. Yes. And that V berth, there's tons of room for sails if you're racing, or tons of room to sleep if you're sleeping. But what really is unique to me, Bill, here is this does not feel like a race boat at all. This salon is great.
This is the true dual-purpose idea. If you look along the hull sides here, you'll see the strips, the fairing strips. So you're not talking about a plastic Tupperware-looking boat.
Yeah.
So you do have these accents. If you take a look right here, here's a generous-sized navigation desk. And you can actually plot off this.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a chart and plot guy.
Yeah, me too.
So you can actually do that. You'll notice the updated B&G system. They just put this in. And then in addition, he sent away for a notebook, which he can run the autopilot and everything in the cockpit.
Nice.
And it's a waterproof unit, so everything can be run from the cockpit, and he'll have readouts of all this information.
Nice. And then, one of the things, having just done that long sail from Panama to the Marquesas,
oh yes,
you can't stop thinking about the keel, because you hear these stories about keels falling off in the middle of the ocean and that kind of thing. So you're out there 1,500 miles from anywhere, and you're thinking, I wonder if the keel is solid. So tell me about this keel.
Well, what we need to know about this is that the keel was redesigned by Nelson Merrick, which is a local naval architectural firm. And I want to show you something about the engineering that went into this.
Whoa!
Rarely ever will you ever find backups like this. And notice the size of the bolts.
I'm counting 17 keel bolts.
17 keel bolts. So it's
distributed. And they're massive, too.
Massive, and the keel fits up into a cassette inside of the hull. So it's really, really well attached.
And they have these big stainless steel reinforcing plates. It's like a giant washer to spread the load out.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
So there is, for the engineering people out there, there is no point loading, because we've distributed the load of the bolts all the way out across there.
That's really nice. And then you've got a nice galley here, and it looks like, so the owners have kept a dehumidifier. Do they run that regularly?
The dehumidifier is running 24/7. That's to keep the moisture content
that's great.
down. And you notice that you do have a stove here, Force 10, 2-burner with an oven, and then you have a really nice size.
That's a big top loader.
What do you think might be in there?
Well, it looks like it's preloaded with water, beer, and soda. Does that come with the boat? Do you think they would throw that in?
I believe they would.
Okay,
and we might even throw in a magnum of champagne.
Okay, that's not a bad deal. So we've got a big storage area back here.
Well, what's really interesting there, Captain, is that it's a storage area, a garage, whatever.
That's a berth.
It's got 2 pipe berths.
Oh, yeah.
So you can sleep 2 people there.
Right, and those are nice bunks too. I mean, and they're adjustable.
Exactly.
So if you're underway, you can adjust the angle of them.
Absolutely.
That's great. And then you've got a big captain's berth back here.
And then if you
with some more bunks
if you look back here, there's a double here. This is, in fact, Captain, this is where I'd sleep on the boat.
Oh yeah.
And then right above it, there's another pilot's berth.
Nice.
So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can easily sleep 9 people in here without hot bunking.
And then I'm also noticing there's just tons of windows in this boat that open. I mean, these are port lights. I mean, a lot of boats you see they're deadlights, and these are all port lights that open.
Now, when people think about racing boats, they don't normally think about all of these accommodations. Yeah, thank you for opening that up.
Yeah.
So you can see now we can get ventilation.
Easy. Yeah.
And for all parties, she just went in and she had a look at the door that encloses the head. So you actually you're not out in the middle of everything as far as bathroom activities.
This is a great design.
It is very, very well done.
This must be a fun boat to sail.
The sailing on this is like, I've been sailing since about 68, and I've never sailed on a boat that got me so excited as this boat.
Great.
It is truly a rocket.
Good.
It is truly a rocket.
Well, I think the best thing we can do at this point is invite people to come down and see you. Bill Semanek at Cruising Yachts. And Bill, what's your phone number?
951-704-4790.
Thanks for taking the time to watch this video on Sailing Yacht Twister, beautiful racer cruiser. And as you could hear as we were filming, a lot of planes going overhead. We are right across from the airport. And Bill will be happy to come pick you up at the airport if you're coming from out of town.
I certainly will. And Captain, I thank you so much for
My pleasure,
giving
Bill.
us this opportunity
Sure,
today.
my pleasure. Thanks for showing us this yacht.
Thank you.